Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming in my sister's room because my room's messy. So yeah. So today is my February wrap up. Today is my February wrap up. Today is the 29th of February. Happy Leap Day. And I read some books this month. So let's talk about what I read. So I read 3 books this month, all hardcovers, because, I'm about that life. The first book I read this month was Paper Towns by John Green, and this is a signed copy, but it is a very, rushed signature, because don't know where I was going with that. So I have the signed copy, and it's a very rushed signature, as you can see. It looks like John was just signing a bunch of them and didn't really put any thought into it. But all in all, I still love it, because the fact that John Green himself has put his hands on this book I am putting my hands on kind of makes me want to die. So the problem, I think I've said this before, I love John Green as a person. I love, he's a great internet personality. He's a really funny guy. Him and his brother are like my life, but his books don't do it much for me. I gave this a 3 stars like I do, like I've given pretty much every other John Green book that I've read. Basically, the only thing that saves these books for me is his comedy. Like, these books are so funny, and they always make me, actually laugh, out loud, instead of just, to myself. I'll actually burst out laughing. And I think that's really what has saved me for this book, because, honestly, I didn't enjoy it that much, and I didn't really, I don't know. I felt like it was a little unrealistic, very unrealistic. So, how the hell are you gonna sneak into SeaWorld, you know? Just saying. So very unrealistic, and I just it didn't do it for me that well. I gave it 3 stars because it was very, very funny, and that is what saved this book for me, definitely. But yeah, so there's that. The next book that I read this month was Challenger Deep by Neal Shusterman, and this is a book about, I gave this book 4 stars because this is a very, very good representation of mental illness. I feel like books that are about mental illnesses can go either 2 ways. They can hit them spot on, or they can just over-glamorize them, romanticize them, make them sound either too cliche or make them sound like something they're not. I definitely appreciate books when they actually hit mental illness head on. So this book is, it's about, they don't really say what his diagnosis is, but I'm pretty sure it's schizophrenia, because he goes into, psychosis and stuff. The book is kind of hard to get into when you first start reading it, because you're kind of, a little confused. You don't really know, what's going on 100%, but it is still very, very good and very interesting. And the drawings in here are actually made by Neal Shusterman's son when he was, look at that. These are so cool. I think the drawings in here are probably the best part of the book. And they're made by his son when he was suffering with his mental illness. So I think that's absolutely fantastic that Neal included that in here. I think that's, a bajillion, look at that, God, isn't that so cool? I think these are so cool. So this book is definitely amazing. I gave it 4 stars. I definitely love this book. If you're looking for a book that is, about mental illness, because, I don't know. If you're looking for a book that's about mental illness or about, hard-hitting issues, and you don't want it to seem like something it's not, then Challenger Deep is definitely a book for you. And it's a National Book Award winner. So, I mean, that's gotta be something, right? Their opinion is valued over mine somewhere along the line. And the third book that I read this month, the third and final book, I read Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard in preparation for reading Glass Sword, which just came out, and I got. So yeah. This book is also signed, but it is one of those things where it was the Barnes & Noble thing. Her signature looks a lot prettier, though. I do very much like it. So this book is definitely amazing. If you have not read it yet, I gave this book 4 stars. If you have not read this book yet, you should read it. If you like fantasy, if you like, it's not one of those things where the series just sucks as it goes on, because I'm on page 5 of the next book and I'm already in love with it. So, and the covers are so pretty. They're holographic, and oh, I love it. I love it. Anyways, so, yeah, this book is about, the basis of this book is that it is set in a world where there are kind of the lower class people, which have red blood, and then there are the higher class people, which have silver blood, and the silver blood people have, powers and stuff, and they rule over the red people and kind of put them into slavery, almost. You know, it's kind of, kind of bad. And then, of course, there's a rebellion, and there's other things that I won't go into because it would take me way too long to talk about. But definitely, if you are looking for, if you want to hop on a bandwagon, you want to read a good fantasy dystopian YA book, Red Queen is definitely for you. And check out Cruel Crown and Glass Sword, because they're also part of the series. And I'm reading Cruel Crown right now. It's very, very good. Cruel Crown is like the novellas, like the prequel novellas. And then Glass Sword is the second one. And I think I read on Goodreads that there are going to be 4 books in this series. So that's very, very exciting. I don't know if they're going to be able to stretch it out for 4 books and make it good. Like, you know how sometimes if series stretch on too much, it's just kind of like, well, I'm bored. So I hope that Victoria will be able to pull through. But I'm very, very excited for 4 books on my shelf because these covers are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, those are all the books that I read this month. The quote of the month comes from Paper Towns, and it is, as soon as I can find it in my tiny little book of quotes. This is favorite. This is one of the things I'm talking about with John Green's funniness, but it's also kind of a book nerd quote, and I think it is very not obligatory. It's very it basically describes my life. So, peeing is like a good book in that it is very, very hard to stop once you start. And that comes from Paper Towns by John Green. So thank you, John Green, for that quote of the month. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment below what you want to see next. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in later times. Bye.